Hey, welcome back to the Real Estate Excellence Podcast. Your host, Tracy Hayes. A real producer in the house today. I'm calling this the Power Hour because today I have a guest host, Miss Melissa Ricks, far right, and I have one of the most successful agents in Northeast Florida here at Center. Her awards are many, and it would take an hour just to list them all. She is recognized consistently by the best of Jacksonville year over year. In 2020, she was recognized as a top Instagram influencer. We got to learn about that. Her business is built on her comprehensive knowledge of the local market's unmatched negotiating skills and constant dedication to the industry and her clients. She considers the most rewarding part of her career is developing lasting relationships with her clients while guiding them through such important investments and decisions. Whether buying, selling, or investing, this agent strives to exceed her client's expectation, no matter the price point. Let's welcome the Campanaro in the Campanaro Group Realtors, Shonda Campanaro.
That a girl.
Wow.
That's my
What
girl.
I'm like, who is this?
I need to meet her.
I stole some of that from your Instagram. I do a little bit of a background check, but I'm glad you finally made it to the show.
Thank you.
I had to bring in your escort over here to make sure you got here today.
She's my realtor bestie. We do this stuff together. You know, I'm cracking up as he's giving your intro where he says your negotiating skills are like one of your top
Strengths.
things. Yeah. You know how she negotiates? She threats. She'll threaten.
I'm gonna burn your house down.
Yeah,
Is that
pretty
that?
much. Yeah. Oh yeah. She'll
I'll just
come
burn
for
the
you.
house down.
That's actually how we connected years ago. We did a transaction together. She called me
Lord.
feisty as ever. I'm like, yo, girl, calm down. Why are you coming to my bag? Just send me an offer, boo. What are you talking about?
Oh.
She
That's
is
great.
worse than me.
I-
Now it's like, don't make me call Melissa Ricks.
Are you guys bullies? In that? Am I learning that we got two
Are we
bullies in the
bully-
real estate?
Yeah,
Were
I
the other
guess-
agents
I
saying
guess
that you
we
guys
can
are
all own
bullies?
Are you gonna own that? I'll
I'm
own
a
it.
Southern Belle.
She's so full of crap. She's not. Listen, I never claimed to be a Southern Belle. She claims to be a Southern Belle. She's definitely not.
Well, you're from New Philadelphia anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Ain't no Southern Belle in that.
And you don't have that beautiful accent that she
No,
has.
I
So.
don't. No, not even close. Not even close.
Shonda, tell us a little about where you're from. Where'd you grow up?
Oh, Lord. I am from a small little town in southeast Georgia. Tiny little town. The biggest thing there is like a Walmart. That's where I grew up.
Southeast Georgia.
Yes.
Don't want to name the town?
It's called Hazelhurst. Probably
Hazel.
never heard of it.
Hazelhurst.
Hazelhurst.
It is amazing when you go around the country, you find some of these little towns that are not on the maps and so forth. Like my son's Thai, and for some reason I was going to a football game in some small college in Georgia, and we had to drive through one of these off roads, and one of those towns is named Thai. T-Y is the name of the town.
Oh, wow.
So I'd take a picture of it and send it to him.
Wow. Well, the funny thing is, as small as that town is, since I've been in Jacksonville, everyone I meet somehow has some tie to that town or a surrounding town, like Baxley or Alma. I've met people I'm related to, which isn't hard. The town's so small. I'm one of 6 children. My mom is one of 14 children.
Right.
So I probably am related to everyone.
Yeah, that's a huge story. So you grew up there. I assume you graduated from the local high school.
Yes.
There. Okay. So at this time in your life, I think you mentioned earlier pre-show, you had your first child really at 20. Did you have any aspirations, or what was going on in your life at that point of what you wanted to do as a career, or any career at all?
Well, I grew up in a small town, and in my mind, all my friends were like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, and I was the one who was like, I just want to get married and have kids. And so I never, and it's amazing that I think back, and I never really planned on doing anything else.
Right.
Did not plan on doing it at 21 years old, but,
Right.
I mean, it's
Stuff
a lot
happens.
easier than it is now with an 8-year-old.
So what migrates you, or what's going on? You're in your young 20s now. What brings you to, is coming to Jacksonville kind of the next chapter in your life as you're raising your first one?
Yeah, I moved here when I was 19 years old. I was married at 20. I had my daughter at 21.
Okay.
So yeah, that's from then on. I've been here ever since.
So is real estate really the only thing you've ever done professionally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. So so you're raising your kid. At what age does someone introduce you to real estate, or you start getting an interest in it?
Well, I started getting bored. My daughter had gone to school. She was my everything. We
Right.
did everything all day long together. I sat at home all day, and I was like, there's got to be something else. I want to do something.
Right.
I had always been fascinated with real estate, And I knew a typical 9 to 5 was not going to be for me because I still wanted that work-home balance.
Right.
So I met a lady who I'd known for a couple years, Miss Pud English. She was a realtor. Completely looked up to her.
What was that name?
Pud English. Her name's Pud. She started Palencia. I met her. She lived in Deerwood.
Okay.
So I called her up. I said, I want to be a realtor. And she said, I think you'd be good at it. You should do it. So I'm like, okay. So I go to real estate school. I get my license. I call her back up. And I'm like, I have my license now. Where should I go? I had no idea. And she goes, well, I have a sister who works with Prudential Network Realty.
Right.
They're the best. Her name's Sandy Littlefield. Call her up.
Are these people still active in the, or they retired and moved on, or?
Well, Sandy actually retired a couple years ago from Berkshire, and I believe they're both up in the mountains now.
Okay.
They're both retired now. So Sandy got me an interview at Prudential, and now Berkshire Hathaway, and I've been there ever since.
15 and a half years now.
Yeah.
I saw on your LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
So think about that moment where you were getting in versus the new agents today, because a lot of them are in the same situation. Would you agree, Melissa? They're like, what should I do? And now you just starting to fall in and have, by pure chance, it seems like, known these people that were fairly good at it. You know, they took you in and they probably trained you in some way. You've been at Berkshire Hathaway 15 and a half. I don't know if there was any agent. There's probably very limited agents that we could say have been at the same brokerage for 15 years, right?
Oh, yeah. That's not normal.
Yeah. So
I'm not normal, but
You're not.
yeah, so I mean, so if you were talking, if there was a new agent looking there, or someone who just got their license, and maybe they just saw it and fall into a brokerage right now, and they don't even know what's going on, what would you suggest to them? Or like someone like you said, hey, I'm looking to get into real estate, called you. What would you suggest to them to do before making that choice of which brokerage to go with?
It's so different now than back then too. Honestly, I think that they're actually, it may be a lot more confusing nowadays because there's so many different options out there.
There is.
I mean, I usually give a list of brokerages for new agents to talk to because there's just so many, they offer different opportunities. And, like you think back then when it was pretty straightforward.
Oh, yeah.
Call her, get in there. It's done.
Absolutely.
Right.
But the brokerage that works for me may not work for her or anyone else.
Exactly.
It depends on where you are in your life, where you want to be, and what you want to do in your career, I would definitely tell them to go to a company that has training. That's the most important thing as a new agent, because when you get your license, you don't know anything. So Berkshire Hathaway or Prudential back then had some of the best training. We went through an incubator program. It was like going to school. We had to go there like 4 days a week, and it was all day long. And I had a great instructor, Sharon Wilson, and I was scared of her. I mean, I was scared. I was scared to say, I can't be here tomorrow. She'd be like, yes, you can. And you will be. And I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Damn, Shonda was scared of something.
So,
holy hell.
So you're in your mid-20s right now at this time, right? That you're talking about.
My late 20s.
Late 20s, okay. And did that structure of them coming in to get you kind of a foundation of saying, hey, you got to come in, that helped you
Absolutely.
in your business, because you didn't know anything about real estate.
I knew absolutely nothing about real estate, but again, that training there, we did everything. We wrote contracts. We got up in front of the class. We did caravans together. So it was like we were, really talking to clients. Now, she would make us call people. Now, I remember one time she busted me out because I put my phone on mute because I don't call people. I don't cold call. And I was faking it.
Right.
Little rebel.
You're faking having a conversation with yourself. Okay.
Complete conversation with myself.
That's great. Well, so if you look back, and anyone listening now, you calculate it's 2022, you go back 15 and a half years. So there's a couple other great brokers in the, or associate brokers, everyone to list them, that I've had on that were going back prior to 2008. So you get started, it's what, 2007-ish, right? 2007, and all of a sudden, I mean, before you really get started, the housing market collapsed.
Well, it was at the tail end.
Right.
So when I got started, I learned how to write. I was writing contracts on short sales and foreclosures.
Right.
I was listing homes. Back then, we negotiated our own short sales. there was no lawyers handling it. So I would have a listing and, you know, there could be 2 banks. So you're trying to negotiate with this bank and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll take that. But second bank wants money too, and they're not getting
second
anything.
mortgage or whatever, yeah.
So it was hard, but to me it was normal because that's how I learned. Right now it's kind of like, you know, last year was like picking flowers. It was easy.
Yeah. So again, going back, because I think one of the greatest thing about all the successful agents is how you got started. Some faster than others. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that we got the housing issue, finances going on, and you got all these foreclosures. These deals don't like happen in 30, 45 days. Like, I mean, you know, occasionally they do, but a lot of these short sales and stuff drag out that you were dealing with. So what are you doing initially in the sense of marketing and getting yourself out there and let everybody know that you are in real estate?
Well, that year it was a little easier for me, and this is going to make me look really old, but no one really used the internet like they do now. So no. I got online, and I started just pasting my URL everywhere. So when you went online, I was popping up. So, you know, I'm a new young agent in a company, and people are having a hard time, just kind of like right now, and all of a sudden I'm selling houses. You know, not a ton. Like back then, it was amazing if you did.
Well, do you find a lot of your you have people from out of state? They're searching the internet and Googling or whatever, and because you were putting your stuff all over, you were popping up. Is that
absolutely? Yeah. I even remember Sharon Wilson doing a class like the next year on like Shonda well, back then I was Saul's, but Shonda's marketing is what Shonda is doing, you know.
Isn't it crazy how different things are now, though?
I know.
Like, I mean, even just from a couple of years ago, as far as your online presence and how important it is, I mean, it's just insane. So, I mean, it does show your age, though, sister.
It's hard being 35.
Well, I think a lot of people discount how much YouTube is a search engine, too. And if you're putting videos, whatever length, out there, you're putting regular content. People are searching from other states and looking into the area.
Are you doing YouTube?
No.
I got to get on YouTube. I just had this conversation with the girls because we're on pretty much every platform except for YouTube. And we're starting to try to build that as well. Because, I mean, I know a handful of agents around here that have really started to.
Even if it's I think you start doing some really good videos of showing a house. You know, what you normally do anyway, and you're putting them on YouTube, people are searching. Even though that house is still not up for sale, they still see your professionalism. I mean, that's just a thought that just came in my head.
And that's where...
See, that's the key word. Professionalism. That's probably why I'm struggling on YouTube.
See, and I laugh there with insecurities because that's why I canceled so many times. I do not like the way I look, the way I sound. I'm sure everyone has the same insecurities, but I did a podcast with a guy, and when he sent it to me, I was like, oh my God, we can't put that out. I was in a rolling chair. Probably what I'm doing now. I'm like rolling everywhere. I'm like talking with my hands, bobbing my head around.
That's normal, though.
I'm trying to remember what actress reminds me of. You know, and, obviously I grew up watching Dallas and what was the other side show to Dallas? It was a spinoff.
Falcon Crest.
Yes.
God, I'm old.
I was gonna say, guys, the whole age thing's coming up again.
No, those just reminds me of actresses at that time. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. You guys
don't say the
you look marvelous. I love Melissa's hair today. She looks great. I love the little curl in it. Yeah, I think that looks.
I did that just for you because I wanted to be
dope. That is dope.
That
is dope. She's different today. Yeah, she put a little curl in it.
I thought we were trying to be twins.
No, I really just do this so I don't have to wash my hair in the morning. No big deal. It's really dirty.
I text her. I'm like, you want to go all Johnny Cash?
I want to touch base on, because like just yesterday, obviously you guys were out to lunch with some of your counterparts. You guys work for different brokerages. How important has it been? Is this something that you did at the beginning, or just has developed in your 15 years of hanging out with other top producers, successful people in the real estate industry? How important is that? Not just for friendship, but
for
growth.
Me, it's actually boosted my business, my confidence, and it's awesome. And especially, we help each other. Yeah. We know what's coming on the market. Just last month, I showed a house for a friend who works for Exit Real Estate because that's what you do. Right. There's enough business support everyone. So it's nice to be friends and have friends with all these amazing agents. If I have questions at midnight, we have a text chain, so we help each other out.
Oh, I can imagine a multiple text chains.
Some real estate, some not.
Is the text change labeled?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dope, and then real estate.
We've got a couple of them. We've got some through Facebook Messenger. We've got some through group chat.
One's like
honestly, like I would argue with anybody that I think right now it is a top maybe 2 or 3 priority to be in collaboration with agents.
Well, since I got both of you guys on, you had lunch with Marissa and some other people yesterday. Was that something you guys scheduled weeks in advance, or Sunday night you say, hey, let's get together on Tuesday?
So yesterday was actually a different event. That was a little bit of a different concept. There was a lot more people than just us there. But we typically we try to schedule like dinner or something. I would say like once a quarter. Yeah. And like try to be there for like, you know, birthday party, like it's genuine friendships, you know, like, and it goes so much bigger than just real estate. Like the support that you have to understand, like on our side of things, I'm sure you guys are the same in the lender world. Like not everybody that's outside of our industry understands this lifestyle, right? So I have a ton of amazing friends that I'm super close with, but they don't understand what I live every day. So when you find a group of people that you
talk shop with
and you're friends with, but now you're in the same industry, we get each other on a different level. Absolutely. So those friendships are even more powerful. And then like, not only like, you know, she mentioned, you know, we talk about, you know, coming soon listings, when there's a multiple offer situation and, you know, you're in there and you're throwing your offers in and you have a really great relationship with that listing agent, that rapport is already built. Like there's so much benefit to it. And then just supporting each other and helping each other grow. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, how many times have you not stolen, but, you know, politely.
We steal all the time.
Steal from each other from the standpoint of, because right now, like making offers is important, how you present it.
Yeah.
And they stole someone else's successful idea and put it into your next offer. And
I don't know that we look at it as stealing. I just
I'm using that as a.
I get it. Yeah,
just
all
borrowing.
the time.
You borrow that.
Yeah, we give each other the tools you need. Melissa's an open book. If you want to know anything, she'll tell you everything she does. But the problem is you have to be able to do it. Yeah. Most people are not going to put in the work. I'm not doing everything she's doing. There's no way. I don't know how she's like Superwoman.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, it's crazy.
We'll give it a different.
So deeper into that, into the surrounding yourself with successful people. So where in your 15 years did you start to realize this is about, you know, meeting with these top agents? Because Melissa wasn't there when you started. So
awesome.
When did you start to realize, this is actually, even though they work for a different brokerage, did you learn that quickly, or is that something that came on, you know, over the years?
It wasn't really something I learned, and it wasn't really about real estate. It was about meeting my people. You know, they came into my life at the right time. You know, I went through life for a long time just right here. But when my husband and I got married, and he's my support. He motivated me. He pushed me. He made me want to be better and do better.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and you know, I used to be so insecure about trying to get luxury listings. You know, very early in my career, I went to a listing appointment, and this guy talked down to me so bad about my accent. I crawled in this shell, and I stayed in this shell for years. And Mark was like,
that's probably why you're sensitive to it now.
Exactly. Yeah. He was like, what are you doing? You are amazing. You go out there, and if you want luxury, you get luxury.
Is this like an agent that you sort of looked up to that demeaned you? Or
no, it was an older gentleman, a client.
A seller.
Yeah, absolutely. So, funny thing is, I sold his house a few years later. So, you know, with the motivation, I started getting out there. I started going after that, and I started getting it. So the moment I stopped caring what people thought, I didn't care anymore. You know, I stopped trying to do this big full-on listing presentation they taught me to do. I do it my way. And I like my way.
Right.
So it worked for me. And then all these amazing women came into my life, and it just helps. We motivate each other. I feel like all of our business.
Do you feel like track to the like?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's cool is, and this is the beauty of what we do, you know, you work, like her and I connected, and we've gotten really close over the years through a transaction, because the way we communicated, we were just girls from day one, and then at the back end of it, then we tried to do the whole like, let's sit and have some brainstorming sessions and talk about how we run our businesses, and that worked real well. We'd go in and be like, oh, margarita me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then
3 glasses of wine later.
I know, but then you grow a genuine friendship off of it. I don't know about you, Shonda, what you would say, but like, I feel like I've seen a massive increase in agent support and collaboration over the last 2 to 3 years.
Absolutely.
By far. Like, before that, it was a lot more competitive. I just think we've turned a corner. I think people realize that there is plenty of business out there. None of us ever, like, all of our close
everyone's
friends,
circles are different.
You have different pipelines. You have a different data. Like, I've never crossed paths with another, like an agent friend of mine, and, you know.
Well, I mean, I picked up on it because you guys do a lot of posting when you do get together with your regular group on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm seeing that. I'm going, oh, and then as I'm chatting with you guys here, we're coming up on 11 months of the show, and talking to all of it, I'm seeing all these people meeting each other, and you all are coming from different brokerages, all coming from, I know your backgrounds now because you told me your story, and that's what it's so powerful. That's the thing.
It really is. And there's a lot of it. I mean, it's not just, I mean, there's a huge group. I think if you're out here in this industry and you're, you know, not wanting to collaborate and build relationships with other agents, you're only holding yourself, like, for what? Why? There's so many agents have so many great things to say and ideas. And I mean, I learn from her, she learns from me, and all of our girls. I mean, we're all doing the same thing.
So I'd like to hear from both of you on this particular side. So you guys are in a circle that probably a lot of people, and even loan officers, are like, oh, those girls are way too powerful. They would never talk to me or whatever type of thing, right?
If they only knew.
I talk to myself.
But you've got an agent out there, maybe new, or maybe just someone who's hit a lid, maybe he's been in the business for a few years, and they're hearing us talking about this regularly. This is a common theme on the show, surrounding yourself by other successful agents. And I have seen a brokerage well-known in this town where the new agents tried to join each other. Like, let's do a new agent group. It's like, and the senior agents are looking at them going, no, don't do that. Because you're not getting anywhere. You're not putting that, you're not the fifth person in the room, you know, that you want to be. You know, you hopefully surround yourself with 4 people that you look up to and strive to be type of situation. So how would someone trying to pop through that lid and grow their business to another level, what's to surround themselves with the successful agents that they know and see every day?
Pick up the phone and call them. And I'll tell you, anybody that's in this industry, no matter how successful you are, if you're not a jerk ego person, they're going to give you time. Honestly, I love my girls, but I meet with newer agents more than I meet with my group of friends.
Right.
Well, that's not right.
You want to come?
Yes.
Tito's, always.
Free lunch.
My only disclaimer up front is it has to be lunchtime and there has to be Tito's. Like, that's right.
and I want tequila. So.
Well,
but they just have to pick up the phone.
I am debating to move some of the shows to later in the afternoon. And
I'm there.
Yeah, I know you are.
Actually, I'm done. This needs to be my last one because people are probably like, why the heck does he have Melissa on there?
Because we love you.
But no joke, I respect so much an agent, especially a newer agent, that can pick up the phone and call someone like Shonda or call someone like me and just say, hey, I'm new. Can I pick your brain for an hour?
Right.
That shows you are chasing an opportunity. You are hungry. You want to get in front of somebody. Nobody, whether you've been in this for 15 years, 5 years, it does not matter, 5 months, nobody's better than anybody. We're all trying to do the same thing. Right. So stop living in fear of judgment from that phone call.
And it could be something very simple, because we've seen some of these really young agents, I mean, just got out of college or whatever, and whatever, they're listening to senior people, giving them advice. They're doing exactly that, and they're seeing success quickly.
Yeah.
So if you want to turn around a dime, you know, whether it's a couple months, your business around, you need to make those calls. I think those calls are easier than calling like you saying, you don't like to cold call clients. Call a senior agent and say, I want to sit down and have coffee with you.
And I've done that before. When I thought about starting my team, you know, I think I called you.
And we had Tito's.
I called lots of people. I talked to CC Underwood. I called anybody I knew that had a successful team, because
I
wanted to say, what are you doing? And everyone was so willing to open up and tell me what they were doing. And that's the great thing about our real estate community. We are a tight-knit community, and everyone is willing to help everyone. And you have to be. You know, your reputation, your name is everything. You can't be nasty to people.
There's a handful out there that I'm sure would not give the time of day, but you move on. You go to the next one. There will be people willing to provide value. And I will say, back to the new agent groups, I'm seeing a lot of that too. And I think that's great too. Like, they do need to be there. They need to have their supportive groups. And like, I think that's something that, like, I had that when I first started. Like, I had a group of people that I could go to. We all started somewhere, you know, like, you need to have a support system, no matter what it looks like.
Absolutely.
You know?
All right, so you're 15 years in the business. I can't.
Every time he says that, I think about how old you are.
Well, she started when she was 15, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we'll go with.
Who do you look up to right now? Who is your resource? Is there someone that you admire in the business, whether locally or nationally, that you follow, or maybe you've had confided in over the years? Is there any one person that you?
There's not one. There's a lot of people. You know, when I got in the business, I was young, so obviously I idolized some of the agents in Prudential at the time. So, you know, I used to look up to them, and I love me some Anita Binding. I love Anita Binding. She is one of my favorite people, and I used to tell her, I'm going to be like you one day. Oh. And I did. And I still joke with her to this day. I call her Queen Anita. And, you know, I've had people ask me before, are you Anita's daughter? I'm like, yeah. Yes, I am. And then Neil had to go and get into real estate, and she's an amazing realtor as well. So, love Anita Binding. Haven't seen Lisa Mordecai in years. Used to love me some Lisa Mordecai. When I got into the Mandarin office, she was, you know, the top producer in that office. And I used to tell her, one day my name's going to be on that board, because we had a sign by the road, and we all fought to get on that board.
The big one that's still. Well, no, it's Watson that has the big one on.
Yeah,
San
they
Jose
have
now.
one, but we had one too. And I would and she said, "Come on, come take it," you know. And I worked my butt off to get my name on that board. She left before I got it up there, but darn it.
So you immediately. It sounds like when you got in those office, you quickly went over to these top producers and created some sort of relationship with them.
That's what you gotta do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they knew what they were doing, and I wanted to know, what are you doing to get this business? How do you do this? And I've had, you know, great conversations with many agents, and everyone has always been more than willing to help you and tell you what they're doing. Yeah.
I think one of the most important things about that conversation, though, if you don't catch on to what she's saying, that, like, people need to really, like, meditate on, is she did that 15 years ago. She still does that to this day. That's what's important, because a lot of people, I heard this quote the other day, I'm going to jack it all the way up, so I'm not going to something like, the difference between, I lied, see, I jacked it up already. It was something about understanding that success means when you get to whatever you were chasing, you understand. Did you post it? You may have posted it.
No. Oh,
yeah, I'm jacking it up, though. I told you. I jacked it up.
Is it the one where
you got to keep putting the work in?
Right.
You get there.
Basically, that's what it's saying. Yeah, you know, people. There's common things in successful people, and it's people just stop. They
that's
don't
why
swing the hammer one more time. They don't take that one extra step.
But you can't just reach that. You know, whatever that.
Right. Sometimes the treasure is just one hammer away.
She's still 15 years in, still making an effort to, like, when she's, you know, building her team. Because I remember, like, we talked about it, and I was like, call Cece, talk to the people that have done it, and that, you know, can offer support and value to you. You know, sometimes people have been you're 15, 20, 25 years. They're like, oh, I don't need to ask anybody for anything. Like, you're only keeping yourself here.
All right, so no one else in the entire world has a team that we know of like her. So who did you talk to?
Me.
That's tough.
Or you just formed your opinion by everyone else's input and formed your own.
Okay, so you remember I came from a team, so I knew that model, and and nothing against that model. That model worked for them. I knew I didn't want that model, so I approached like my model from doing the opposite of what everybody else was doing. But that's kind of how I live life, because I'm a rebel by nature. So like, I just
if the term everyone else is doing it, you're like, okay. I'm the same way. We talked a little bit about pre-show, over the years, going from, someone in their 20s and having continued success. And really, I mean, you continue to keep pushing the limit on your records and things that you're doing. What are you doing to stay sharp? You talked about it a little bit earlier. You do listen to podcasts occasionally, but you're on social media. Mm-hmm. Do you try to stay abreast of what's going on in real estate on a national level? What do you do there just to stay?
Yeah, and for real, before you answer that, I'll piggyback on that question. Like, tell us all the small people how we can get the awards that you get.
Yeah,
because for real, girl.
Do you have a whole room in your house?
You
for
got
this?
to. Like, how can I get on your level?
I text them and I'm like, I want an award. How much you want?
Just tell them to send you checks instead of glass. No more room for the glass.
We have a lot of education. I mean, we still have an incubator program. I can go up there anytime I want. We have, Ann King, Kevin Wogman, they're constantly putting out education online, videos. So I have access to that, but I also have people like Melissa that I'm learning from because, again, you're constantly learning and growing
Absorbing.
And you have to pivot. So
yeah.
Did you see the thing I posted a few days ago that was like the CD we used back then?
Oh, yeah. I made a comment on it. I said we were going to talk about it on the show, actually. Thank you for reminding me.
So that's how we marketed that. I was fancy. I had my CDs laid out, and that's how we marketed. But now there's so many programs that I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
So yesterday, I learned all these programs that Melissa and her team are using, and other agents were talking about programs they're using that I want to implement into my team. So last night, I was online all night long, like researching all these programs. So I think that we're learning from each other more than anything.
Right.
It's hands-on experience.
One of the common themes was obviously surrounding yourself by successful people. The other one is education, and you just brought it up. Mm-hmm. How important is it? Now, I will say everyone that I've had on all says their brokerages has an education level. So I don't want one brokerage has something other, because I think your brokerages are all going to give you some level of education. Yeah. But how important is it to go outside of that? Like meeting with other, like you're talking about. How important has that changed your trajectory of being an agent or going to a conference or something of that nature? How important is that to be looking for those things outside your stuff that you're just getting at the brokerage?
For me, it's the most important. It's impacted my whole career because I don't do well in a classroom. I am so ADD. I can sit there and say, I'm going to listen. 2 seconds later, I'm staring at a spot on the ceiling. So that does not work for me.
Right.
I could sit in all the training I wanted. It's not going to help me. So for me, that's the best training. And even social media. Social media, I think you said this yesterday, is kind of the new training tool. So instead of the podcast and things I used to listen to, I'm scrolling through social media, listening to, all these big people just talk and pour out all this information that's really helping me in my business. When
you say that, because I'm visualizing what you're doing, because what I do, I get caught on the reels. There's a lot of motivational stuff on there. It's 30 seconds or whatever, but then it starts your mind.
It's a mindset.
Going.
Influencing is the new educator. I said this yesterday, and I believe it wholeheartedly. I just had a conversation with an agent on the way here that's getting prepped for a panel in a couple weeks, and we were talking about fear of growing and how to work people past that. And I say this all the time. It's a mindset. If you are not relentlessly chasing opportunities and putting your fear behind you, you're going to hold yourself back. Mm-hmm. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Right. You're going to hold yourself back. So the conversation of how important is further education beyond what your brokerage can offer. Are you signing up for seminars? Are you doing the research? God, we live in an age of unending knowledge. Mm-hmm. You can't expect to go to your brokerage class from 9 to 11 Monday through Friday and go to the next level. It's not going to get you there. That's good stuff to know. It's good to have that knowledge. But how much further do you want to go in your career, and what kind of work are you willing to put in to go to additional training?
Do you find the education that we're talking about, this higher level thing, it's not just an actual hey, go do this. It's not an actual always. You know, sometimes they give you a piece of advice like, hey, this is, you know, do more Instagram videos or something. You can go implement that right now.
Sure.
But listening to other successes, the stories, listening to podcasts and the positive stories of people's successes, that these higher education is hearing those stories actually gives you more energy and may send you on your own search. You didn't actually get like, do more Instagram videos from it. You got like, hey, it's out there. You got to take another step. It just gives you another energy for the day, that positive mindset. That mindset was the word you used a moment ago, which is
it all comes full circle. And then learning how to engage with your followers. Once you start doing those things, I mean, Shonda kills it on Instagram, you know, and the beautiful thing, we talk about this all the time, is organic following. You won't see this girl and I out here paying for followers.
Yes.
It's just not how we roll. You know what I mean? Like, how do you build an organic following of people? You're authentic. You make sure people know what you're doing, and you're consistent.
I heard there's a big EXP agent out in Utah. He was one of the first podcasts I started listening to, and he came on and said he was actually killing his entire his original Instagram page because he did do the paying for the follower stuff, and he got to the levels he wanted, so you can do different things when you have more followers. But he realized after a while, they realized how many were actually, you know, what do you call authentic, engaging.
I think they're bots. So I don't know anything about that. I actually just heard a couple months ago that you can actually pay for followers. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I can buy you some.
I don't even know. All of a sudden, I'm going to go ahead and have 10,000 followers. I don't even know how it works. I don't know anybody that's done it. I just heard that it's a thing. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, people really... I mean, I guess if you want followers, it's a way to do it, but are they
But the algorithm's already figured out you're buying them. That's the thing. I think it was a thing at a time, and it got you to a certain level, but now...
You can tell.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you just click on their followers and go through. Come on, you're a woman. We all stalk people.
I don't click on people's followers.
You just click on them and you go through and you can see who are bots and who's not.
Does it say bot on it though?
No, it's like no picture with symbols.
Oh, like no profile, basically.
Yeah, but we all get bots.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go on and you have to go through your page and filter them out because somehow you do get bots because they want to post on your page.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess
they're trying to get you to follow them. You get someone that says, "Oh, so and so's following you now," so you're like, feel good. Say, "Well, I'll follow them. They're following me." But the reality, it's one of those bots that she's talking about. I've started figuring that out.
She's gonna have 200,000 followers tomorrow.
Shut up, Deja. What do we need? So my question for that is then, okay, so there's an option for you to do boosted ads. Why aren't people doing that? Isn't that a better source of your money than paying to have followers, or am I not understanding it? The paid follower thing is like a new con.
I have to bring Daniel on for that.
Maybe it's perception. Maybe you started a new page, you have no one, so you want to have this perception thing
that you're big.
And then you grow big and you get your own followers and you're done. I mean, that's.
And then what do you go in and delete?
Well, it allows you to do different things. You see these people with like the swipe up on the Instagram where it says swipe up. Like if you're doing an ad, and you like the ad and you can do a swipe up. Well, you have to have like, from what I understand, like 10,000 followers to be able to do that. So if you get
what's the swipe up?
Do you want to just invest in some followers tomorrow? We'll go halvesies. You take 10 grand, I'll take 10 grand. Followers, not money.
Let's get back on the rail. I don't know if you can pick the followers. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
Well, they tell me how cute
Florida Network Realty. You know, went from Prudential to Florida Network Realty, right? That's how that went. Or went to Berkshire Hathaway, which was the Berkshire Hathaway. It was Prudential Florida Network Realty.
Yes.
Now it's Berkshire Hathaway. You've been there, the leadership team. I mean, brag a little bit. I mean, obviously you must like it there. I imagine a lot of other brokers have tried to come steal you away. So, tell us a little about Berkshire Hathaway and why is it that you fit there and you seem to have made home and. Unless you're planning to open your own deal tomorrow.
No, I'm a liability. I've even told brokers when they call me, I'm like, you don't want me. Listen, you don't want me. Call my broker. I'm going to have her drink. She doesn't drink, but she will be soon.
Shauna doesn't do this, but I already have a plan for her last and final move when she moves brokerages one day.
Okay.
No, so when I joined Berkshire Hathaway, this goes back to the beginning. So I'm young. I'm scared to death. I go in this interview room, and I'm expecting like a broker to be sitting there to tell me how great they are. No. It was Linda Shearer herself, and there's Sharon Wilson. There were a few people in the room, and you know, here I am, this little nobody, and this woman who runs the whole company is sitting here to interview me.
Right.
She was the sweetest, most down-to-earth person. I loved her. I instantly felt that connection, and I knew that's where I wanted to be. To this day, she's on my Facebook. If I make a post right now, she's going to be one of the first few that likes it and comments. They're our biggest cheerleaders. Christy Budnick, you know, Christy's moved on, and she's running Berkshire Hathaway now, not just here.
Right.
And still, she makes time. I could text her right now and say, call me. And, you know, if she wasn't busy, she would call me. So we are
the strong relationships that have...
Yeah, we are a big
the
family.
Roots that you've put in here are strong.
Absolutely. So now, you know, a lot of things have changed in the company. We have new people that have stepped up, but without change, you can't grow. So, you know, now we have Kevin and Ann King, and the technology Ann is bringing to Berkshire is absolutely amazing. I am excited about it. You know, that's one of the things that I lack in because I am older. I tend to get set in my ways, and you know I've got to pivot.
You're a millennial. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I keep
talking about this old age.
She's
thing.
not a millennial. Are you a millennial? No way.
Absolutely.
I know age keeps coming up. It's gonna be the title of the podcast. How old really is?
I'm just gonna up my age even more, so I'm like 55. I'll be like, damn, you look good.
It's okay. My kids call her a baddie, so her age doesn't matter. She's
they
cute.
just made me a shirt.
Literally.
The Shonda.
She's such a brat.
It hasn't officially been named the Shonda, but it should be.
Oh God.
There's a shirt there that her label's coming out with. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
They made me a racer back with their, you know.
Because she's a diva and needed a certain. Oh God.
All right, so. And you're telling me great things about Berkshire Hathaway technology. You used several words there in describing there. How important, though, if you're talking to an agent, different brokerages have different things that they're doing and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
But the things that you're bringing in, because it sounds like you really evaluated yourself over the years, and obviously hanging out with people like Melissa and Marissa Scott and those top agents in there. And the matching it with what your mindset and you knowing you, right? You've analyzing and you doing the outside what they're just offering at the brokerage and matching it with the brokerages has really fueled your fire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Berkshire Hathaway is one of the strongest brands out there. I mean, everyone knows that name brand, and I want to be affiliated with that brand. I love it. So.
But you can't just hey, I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, call me.
Oh, no,
you got to take it to another level.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I do corporate relocation with Berkshire Hathaway and things like that, too. So there are advantages for me being where I am as well. And it's, you know, it's where I've always been. It's where I feel comfortable at, so.
Let's go. Well, actually, I actually had a line in here. Tell us about when did you brought on Judy and Diane together, basically roughly the same time, or the...
It was close.
Yeah, about the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking a little bit earlier. You felt you kind of reached a lid in your business. You needed some help because you couldn't just take care of everybody, but you didn't want to cut everybody off either. You were giving business away and said, "Hold on, I got to keep it in house."
Yeah.
So you bring on Judy and Diane. How is that dynamic work? How long you guys been working together now?
It's been a year now.
It's got to be a year.
Yeah, it's been a year now.
I'm so proud.
We're still learning. We're still growing. I kind of did it backwards. It just happened. So I wasn't ready. I didn't have my systems in place, but it just kind of happened. I've been friends with Judy for years. I've been friends with Diane for years.
So were they new agents, or they were working somewhere else, and you brought them into the fold?
Well, Judy has had her real estate license, I want to say 25 years. She hasn't done residential. She's actually the vice president of Jones Lang LaSalle. So she does commercial property management. So with her background, it just kind of went together.
Right.
And, you know, she had kind of dabbled in residential a little bit, and she's always been a huge referral partner of mine. She's always referred all her friends, family, clients to me. And when she was ready, I was happy to have her. I couldn't think of anyone else I would rather have on my team than Judy. She's one of the hardest working women I know. So now Diane, I knew Diane's husband. That's how I met Diane. He was one of my clients years ago, and I've done business with his family, some of his friends, people that work for him. Diane worked at the chamber for years, so she has a great background.
She knows that she's got a big circle.
Absolutely, huge sphere. So Diane called me and said she was thinking about going into real estate, and I was like, absolutely. I could definitely see you being an amazing real estate agent. And
so she came to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I told her, I can, set you up an appointment with Berkshire. You can talk to a few more people. And she said, well, I was kind of thinking I might want to work with you. And I was floored. I was like, yes, come on, absolutely. This is going to be fun. And
is there a bottle of wine in the office?
So probably. So then I get the call. Okay, so I'm doing this, and when she says she didn't have she had no systems. So I'm like, okay, sister, we got to organize you. Let's sit down. Let's figure out
You had at least a transaction coordinator, right? Would you have?
No. I'm so tight. I do everything myself.
No systems.
Oh my
so Melissa was like, you have to work smarter, not harder, and that's what I'm still to this day struggling with, because I try to do everything myself, and it's taking a toll on everything.
Yeah.
Listen, trying to rein this one in is we've had tons of, they're doing fantastic, and they do it their way, and they do a fantastic job, but systems was definitely, in the very first conversation, I was like, oh God, we're going to need alcohol for this conversation. But it's worked out great, because she's, a lot of it, when hiring is if you hire the right people, you guys can figure it out together. When I first hired, none of my people do the same roles and obviously I'm set up different. I don't have agents, but we've had to pivot. So they work through the challenges and stuff, and you do it together as a group and as a team, and you figure it out together, which is the beauty of having support.
So you reached a lid in your business. These ladies come in.
Yeah.
What has it done for your overall, just business in general? Are you able just to capture even just 10 times more? What has it done for you, for what you personally could do in the time of the day and what you personally were doing? Everything, transaction coordinator and everything, all there. Now you got these two ladies here that are bringing their time and skills in. What has it done for the Campanaro, from Campanaro to the Campanaro group, in a sense of your business volume?
Well, we're still growing and we're still learning. They came on at a time to where I was like, listen, I already talked to Melissa. I'm not ready to bring on buyer's agents. She told me I'm doing it all wrong. Because she told me, no. But I wanted them, and I knew it was going to be a great match. So I said, I would love to have you ladies. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know how to run a team. But if you're willing to learn together, let's do this. So they have helped me take a step back and be able to, hand them off some buyers. And I am now taking the time to actually get the correct systems in place to grow this team.
Right.
And I'm anxious to see what, the next year holds for us.
Right.
I'm super excited because I feel like we're going to do some great
this
things.
is the big talk really in a lot of the podcasts is, the agents or, loan officers or whatever, reaching this lid and then, hiring that first assistant.
Yes.
Loan assistant.
I was just going to say that the day she makes her first admin hire, we will be celebrating rooftop dinner.
I don't understand why
sure.
Berkshire Hathaway hasn't come forward and forced you to have one. That's what I would have done.
Ann tells me all the time.
She hears it a lot.
Yeah, I hear it all the time. It's just I'm
her.
struggling
It's you.
with giving up. Still to this day, it's hard.
Do you have an ego?
No.
No ego?
It's my name.
Control.
She's a control freak.
In real estate, all you have is your name. If you tarnish that name, you're done. You need to have the respect of your peers. And my biggest fear is for someone to mess up I hand something over to someone and they do it wrong.
Now imagine hiring somebody
that does it right,
that values your name as much as you do.
That's what I need.
And they're out there. Because I'll tell you, one thing that I hear on a consistent basis, so that event yesterday, I can't tell you how many people messaged me later and were like, your team, your girls are amazing. they love you so much. They love your culture. They love your brand. They love what you stand for. And I love that. I love hearing stuff like that because that means the people that work with me, believe in me. There are people out there like that.
Yeah. And well, I don't know how, it's so amazing, you're a woman of faith. He puts people like that in front of you at different times.
Oh, absolutely.
And you have to just be smart enough to figure out who those people are.
Like a month from now, I'm gonna be like, Shonda, this person's right in front of you. I'm gonna like place them there for you. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that, they're there.
And I am looking because that is our next step. That's the next piece of the puzzle because. Again, I brought them on because I was referring so many pieces of business out, and
it made sense at the time.
Why don't I keep this volume on my team? They were ready. It made sense at the time. Now they're hungry. They're ready for more. I'm ready for more. We don't aspire to be a huge team,
right?
But we want more. We're ready.
Yeah, you get hooked on the transaction, right? I mean,
absolutely, and we're completely referral, word of mouth based, and we can't handle any more without someone. We do need someone.
Right.
We got this recorded. I'm gonna play it back for you daily.
All right, we'll cut that out, Daniel, right there. All right, so the common themes: surrounding yourself with great people. Education was one of the things we've already talked about. One of the other terms was consistency. What would you say looking over 15 years, and it could be something you just really started in the last couple of years, but what would you say right now that what you've done consistently has made a difference in your business?
Social media. Even back then, before the Facebook and things like that, I was on MySpace. Do you even know about MySpace?
Yeah. No, I should have said no because I don't want to show my age now. I had the coolest MySpace profile, by the way. And my top 8 friends were dope.
We're done. Of course.
So mine has always been the internet because I'm not that agent that cold calls. You could probably give me $10,000 worth of leads a week. Not going to turn them because you have to be able to turn those leads. You have to pick up the phone and cold call. I'm not going to do that. So I know what works for me. Social media works for me. And all my clients, again, are always word of mouth, which is the best form of marketing. So they're all word of mouth. They're all from social media.
Would you say quite a bit of your circle, maybe never have used you before, but they're friends or whatever, your past clients, because you're consistently posting and they're your friends on Instagram or Facebook, those regular postings just reminding them that, hey,
top of mind.
I'm in the real estate business.
Absolutely. And that's how I do get my business.
Right.
I just closed I think the 3rd transaction with a client I met early in the business. I'm about to close her sister's house. So the majority of my clients continuously use me and send me to all of their friends and family. And that's the biggest compliment. Right. When you have repeat clients.
Yes.
And that's hard.
Yeah, that's definitely an ego, or flattery. It definitely gives you a high. But I think one of the things that people miss out is whether you're doing the short videos or you're doing the Instagram post is, I always go back, and I think Melissa and I talk about that guy who sold 13,000 cars in his 15 years in the business because he was writing thank you cards every month, and it was building up. He had a team of people writing these cards. You can do that in 30 seconds on Instagram every day, and it doesn't cost you a dime.
And that's what I'm good at.
And the power of it. And
I text my clients to this day. I have clients from years ago. If I see a funny meme, I'm blasting it out to them. And that's, I'm different because that's how I stay in contact with my spirit.
Well, you would do that with a friend.
Yeah, they're all my friends.
Yes. Yeah, you treat them just like that.
That's the key.
Every single one of my clients have become my friends. And I pick up the phone, I call them, they call me, I had a lady a couple days ago call me and ask me for a contractor. Sold her house 10 years ago. Right. It's just the way it is. And that's the most important thing. This is a relationship business. And I feel like that's why I do so well is because I am authentic.
Right.
We talked briefly yesterday about too many people are putting too many rules and restrictions on how and when you need to touch base with your database. And so we talked about yesterday, I was like,
those are just ideas.
Just remove it. When you think of them, let them know. If you see something that reminds you, there is no, the more you systemize that, or, like if you had a checklist every day, I've got to call Fred, Bob, and Harry today. What's driving you to do that? Just call them or text them or hit them up on Facebook, whatever.
I hate the holiday emails that go out that these companies just think are like.
I know we get them every time.
I know you didn't send me that, and it's like delete.
I don't do that.
I did a now. Don't get me wrong. I believe in like any opportunity to reach out to your database. So I use Bon Bon videos. They're my faves. I do it, and I do it at random. I try once a quarter, but I don't force it because I'm not a forced, whatever. But like I sent it's like 30-second videos out to like our people, right? So I sent one out during Christmas time, and it was maybe a week or two before Christmas, and it was like literally me talking crap to them in the Starbucks drive-through line, because that's what I do, and like telling them all I love them and stuff, but like talking crap about them in the drive-through. But like it was just me reaching out to
impactful though. It was you. It was your face.
I mean? Like
I stalked her VIP page when she told me about it. She told me to create one, and it was on your VIP page.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I don't think I've been. I'm not on the VIP. How am I not on the VIP page? I'm not on the VIP page.
If Shonda's in the VIP group, she's the only realtor in the VIP group.
No, she let me in there because she was like,
"Shit, did I forget to take you?"
I don't know.
Have you even started one yet though?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, good.
That's the thing.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not keeping up with it the way she did
Right.
hers, but she let me on there and said, "Look at what I'm doing.
Some of the
implement
authentic
this."
things.
And this is something else she gave me, another tool to use.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
I'm gonna go into this VIP tomorrow and be like, "Ma'am, you haven't posted here in 3 weeks. You need to get on there and do a giveaway."
She's not getting in my VIP.
Ma'am.
She's not. But my clients, they're all my friends. They all send me funny memes. We text each other back and forth. We make fun of people,
The norm.
No, I don't know. I don't know anything about making fun of people. I don't know about that. All right, we're gonna finish. I'm gonna ask one last, not a serious question. If someone came to you today and said, "Hey, Shonda, give me 3 things, 3 keys to success for Shonda."
Oh, you're on the spot.
What would you? Just three things that are off the top of your head. We
new
talked about a lot.
agents?
Just anyone who wants to get better in the business, and it could be just in business in general. I mean, what's been your success? What are 3 key things that you think are?
I tell everyone I'm a realtor, and I tell them how much I love it, and they see that. They see my face light up when we talk
authenticity
about
of loving what you do.
We talk about real estate, and I get excited. I love going to look at houses with my clients. So that, and when you're a new agent, I feel like you need to get dressed and go to your office. I don't do that as much anymore. I told my broker I'm going to start because it motivates you. It makes you see the other agents doing work, staying busy, and you want to get busy, and you want to go out and get that work. So
that's really big advice. I'm trying to preach that here in our loan officer. Some of these new people are not coming in and getting the energy from the office.
Yeah, and that's the key thing, because at home it's so easy to just go on Facebook. Go make something to eat. Right. So you keep getting distracted.
At least you're talking shop in the office and exchanging ideas or experiences to grow.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then probably social media. Social media for me has been the biggest game changer. When I started posting every single thing I did, every award, every closing, my business doubled. I got a lot of backlash from that at first.
Because some people think you're bragging. Or whatever.
It did. It came off as that. People would say, "Hey, you got to stop that. You're why are you bragging so much?" I said, "You know what? I'm not buying Zillow leads. I'm not paying for marketing. My business doubled once I started doing this. Unfollow me."
It's just another reason to put something up there that shows that you're in the business and you're actually really good at it.
People want to work with successful people. I've had people message me randomly and say, "Hey, I used XYZ for years, but it looks like you're killing it, and I want you to sell my house." And I'm thinking in my mind, "Oh my gosh, they sell way more than I do." But okay, let's do it.
So, exploiting social media in an obviously positive way, letting everyone you know what you do and you love it.
Absolutely.
And then what was the one in the middle? What was number 2? There was the. I was trying
Get
to
dressed and go into
Yeah,
the
show up.
office.
Show
That's
up,
what
right?
I
We would
need
say
to do,
show
yeah.
up.
And you could probably couple that with like consistency, like creating
Absolutely.
consistent schedule.
Consistently showing up.
And engage with people. I do have to say that. Engage with people. Don't just collect followers. reach out to those people and talk to them and let them know that, you know, you want to know what's
see
going
them.
on. What are you doing in your business? How is your market? And that's worked for me a lot because I get a lot of referrals from other
That's interesting.
agents.
I picked up a tip probably a month or so ago. I was listening to someone on, and he, you know, when you're going on and you see someone's post on Facebook, actually say something with some substance to it.
Absolutely.
You know, versus just, you know, yeah, I know a lot of times there's a lot of stuff we just like a lot of stuff, but if you see something really exceptional, go, oh wow, that, you know, just say something, write a sentence.
So you get engagement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I add one more thing to that list too? Chase every single opportunity that's in front of you. Opportunity. Don't turn away from, like, if you're new and you're getting in the business and you want to, you know, climb to whatever, get to whatever goal, if there is even if it seems small or minor, chase it relentlessly every single time.
Can you give us an example?
Like, let's say you come into the business and you're just trying to find connections. Get into every single realtor group, realtor mastermind, social media groups, whatever, networking groups, you know.
And engage.
And engage with those people, right? So, like, one of the best business decisions I made a couple of years ago was because I was in this networking group. I watched what the people were saying. I picked somebody out that I thought would be a fantastic partner for me for this side hustle that I had going. And I reached out to them. We set up a business plan for it was an opportunity that I never would have taken had he not been in there making these comments and, like, having this desire to do something
You had
different.
similar.
Yeah, and you chase it, you know, and it turned out to be an amazing opportunity. It turned out to be an amazing business partnership that I grew over the years with him because of just watching and paying attention and not turning away from possibilities, you know?
Well, as
There's
we
so
talk
much.
about, you know, he
Love
puts
your
people in
hustle.
front of us. You go, if you show up, he's going to put people in front of you that'll give you those paths, those opportunities right there.
They're out there. You just got to pay attention.
All right, we're going to wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
My 2-minute warning questions. Is it more important who you know or what you know?
Ooh. Depends on the situation. Right now in this market, maybe who you know. But I think what you know.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
So. Now, who you know will get you further sometimes, but I think it's more important what you know.
I listening to your story, I think who you know is that. What was the woman that you met at Berkshire Hathaway you called when you said I want to be an agent?
Hud English. She wasn't with Berkshire, but her sister was.
Her sister was.
amazing. Yeah.
I think that was your who,
I think
and it
so.
got you to your what.
I was
I
just
think
going to
so.
say, I feel like I answered this question the very first time I was on this, and I don't remember what I said. So I'd be interested to see, but I would 100% say who you know.
Yeah.
She's going to
Because-
call me up and ask for a referral fee.
She is. She 100% is.
She'll say, Shonda.
Yeah, girl.
She's on my Facebook. She's going to see this. I'm gonna-
Okay.
I love it.
What's on you and your husband? Well, so you have two children, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have does the 23 even travel with you anymore, or does she?
Oh, no, we're not cool. We're finally getting a little cool.
Little-
She does call me every day again. She loves me again.
Oh,
You know, from that 16 to 19 stage, I'm the worst person in the world. You know.
What's on your travel bucket list? You have a family vacation, or maybe just you and your husband that just want to go?
We have a couple vacations planned. We don't really have time to make. I mean, you can't right now. Travel's hard, but we did buy an RV, so we've been doing the whole camping thing lately.
What?
Getting into that.
I cannot even imagine.
You have no.
Y'all
you
can
have
see the videos of me hiking in my full Gucci
No,
outfit at the
Shonda.
full
campground.
Gucci. I got to see that.
They call me Lucy Gucci.
So here,
Goes
this is so
camping.
interesting. You're not the only person that said it, and I've been on the thought process too, because my kids are, 9 and she'll be 9 tomorrow and 12, and we're like, this time to go do those traveling. They can actually understand what's going on. Go buy an RV, because I've had numerous agents come on and say almost the exact same thing you did, but you actually have gone and bought the RV.
Yeah. We absolutely love it. We're boring. We like the idea of friends. We just don't like really hanging out with them. So we go camping. Aaron loves it. He's all about outdoors. We just light a fire, drink a bottle of wine, and that's our party, and that's how we party.
Dude, I don't know if we talked about alcohol more or your age more on this podcast, but I feel like we keep bringing up wine
I
too.
feel bad because alcohol always comes up. And my small town, my whole family, they're, really religious. And my dad's actually told me.
Is it a dry county?
Yeah.
What's really funny is we
but
really
my
don't
dad
drink
told
that
me
much.
one time, we don't. That he
We
was
talk about it more than we
praying
do.
that God would take the alcohol from me. And I'm like, Daddy, that's a show. I don't really drink that much. I mean, I'm a lightweight. day. I drink 2 drinks, and I'm like a high school kid. Like,
True.
For real.
True.
Yeah.
All right, last question from the loan officer. We're going to go out and talk to some more loan officers here. I'm sure over the years you've probably gone through a bunch of different referral partners, but you have people that you rely on. What is the number one thing that you require in that referral partner relationship, and specifically the loan officers that you use?
Communication, and that's how we bond. To me, communication is key. I don't care if you drop the ball and you completely screw everything up. Call me up and say, Shonda, I screwed up. Yeah. It's going to be another week. But this putting you off, we just need one more day, and you're writing an extension. We need one more day. You're writing an extension, and you not knowing what's going. We look stupid, and that was the deal we kind of bonded over, because I didn't even know my buyer flipped to a bond loan, and the buyer didn't know either. Remember that?
Oh, I remember.
We almost went to jail.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody involved in that transaction remembers that one.
So communication to me is the biggest thing. I don't care what happens. Just let me know. Pick up the phone. Text me. For me, that's the biggest thing.
Cool. Ladies, thanks for coming on the show.
It's always a pleasure.
She did awesome.
Yeah,
I
knew she'd kill it.
I don't think she realized how good she sounded.
I'm going to
awesome.
delete this off my Facebook.
No,
she is.
She's going to want to come on next month and bring Judy and Diane on.
No, she's going to find something, and she's like, "Why did you let my hair sit that way?"
I'm going to get yelled at. Talk with my hands.
You guys did awesome. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.